Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. I've been having a really nice day today, and today I'm excited because I'm going to be taking on the Royal Tournament. Is officially underway as of about 5 hours ago, and as you can see, I've already reached 5 wins. I usually do the first video in my Royal Tournament series going from 0 to 10 wins, but I think I'm going to try 5 to 10 this time, see how you guys like it. So, what I'm going to be doing is showing you guys 5 of the best decks, in my opinion, for the Royal Tournament. Disclaimer, these aren't going to be the best decks in the entire game, as in they're going to be guaranteed to get you wins, but they're just going to be 5 decks that I have researched, and they are backed up by royalapi.com, if you guys don't know. One of the greatest Clash Royale websites for you to use. I'm also an official Royal API partner, although I've been using their site long before I was even anywhere close to that. So just a great website for any of your Clash Royale needs. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going over all of the 5 decks today and playing one game with them each, going to 10 wins in the video. So if you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get right into the deck breakdown. So first we have Royal Giant Lightning. Very easy, straightforward deck. Honestly, in my opinion, Royal Giant is always overpowered, or at least super strong in the meta. There's always some kind of good Royal Giant Fisherman deck that seems to do well no matter what the meta is. All the good cards in the game just fit very well. In this case, right now, we have Goblins and Phoenix. Mother Witch there too for graveyards and maybe bait. And then Royal Ghost, just a very nice pressure card. I feel like Lightning's better than Fireball in Royal Giant because it helps you beat hard counters better. So we're going to be getting into the first match with Royal Giant. Let's take a look and hope for some nice games today. So we found our game against Bedir Macelayo. Give him the good luck. And I think I don't really play RG too often. Okay, we do see a Hog Rider deck. So you always want to activate King off of the Hog with a Fisherman, which is going to be really nice. This looks like it might be Hog EQ or 2.6, either one. And I honestly am not looking forward to go against either one because I don't think it's going to be a very great matchup. But I'm still going to try my best, of course. Just going to Ghost, and I feel like he's definitely going to try and outcycle me in single, so I probably want to chill out for a while and not be too aggressive. That Muskie's definitely going to get taken out, and I think I can actually go RG here because Ghost will force a response out, and it does force the Ice Golem out. Cannon also comes down, and I can hover Skeletons, or Log rather, if he goes for Skeletons. I'm actually, okay, I think he's not going to go for them. So as you can see, he has very easy Royal Giant defense. I'm going to Mother Witch Log this Hog Rider. I actually think I messed up already. I should have gone Phoenix instead, but it's alright. I'll get one pig out of it, and I should still be okay. So I think I'm definitely going to have to play this matchup well because they have really easy defense for the RGs, and I think it's going to be kind of tough, but I do think Lightning might be more helpful than a Fireball because I can just safely Lightning off the Musketeer every time, whereas if I had Fireball, I would just have to Fireball Log or even Fireball the Cannon, which is usually not really worth it, and I think I don't want to give him any Fireball value at all in the left, so I think I'm actually just going to RG the back right now. I don't really see any reason not to. And if he does go for a Hog, I can Fisherman pull it away. Should not be able to go Ice Golem Hog right now. Does pre-cannon. And then there's the Hog. I'm going to go Fisherman, and I hope this full counters. Because, okay, actually, Tower is going to get frozen by the Ice Spirit, so I do have to log back. I want to avoid all hits if possible. Then I'm going to go for a Ghost to support the RG. And definitely going to be dead RG, but I think as long as I can get a little bit of pressure with this Ghost should be good. Might actually get a hit unless he logs 2. And we do get one RG hit, which is great. And even some Fisherman damage on the left, so honestly not bad whatsoever. Pretty good, although I do have to be careful of a Hog coming down right now. And I'm just going to keep going RG the back. I think RG the back is definitely the move. With RG in general, it's a really nice play because you basically just get to build up a push from the back. I hope I didn't take any hits there. Okay, nice. So that's the timing you guys want to use. Gonna Ghost for the Cannon and try and get ready for Lightning on the Musketeer. That's definitely what you want to do. So gonna get a Lightning ready right now. And then this should be really solid. He did a great job of protecting his Cannon, so that's a bit annoying. But he does also have to Fireball on defense, which is great, and we force out the second cannon. This is exactly why RG in the back is such a good move, because you can go for the second RG once they are not back to cannon, or once you've outcycled their cannon, or outcycled any counters for that matter. And as you can see, he just wasn't back, so that's going to be a lot of damage. I think he has to do something else, or we're going to get one more hit too, so that's just going to be great. Going to Ghost to predict the Hog as it comes down. Fisherman as well, and I think I do have to be careful. I might take some Hog chip here. And I take one hit, which honestly isn't bad. I'm actually going to RG right now and get ready to Lightning his Muskie. Going to pre-log on Skeletons possibly. We don't get them, but that's fine. Going to Ghost 2. And we do get the Skeletons there. I feel like in this matchup I should actually be using my Mother Witch better, because I can definitely go Mother Witch on the Skeletons, and I usually hate when that happens to me, so I should be doing a better job of punishing it myself. Gonna go for the RG right now, and this should honestly be a pretty good push as long as I can get a nice Lightning off. and I'm going to go for lightning right now. Lots of lightning value if I can just get it down in time. We do get a cursed hog as well, so this is exactly what it is all about. You get the cursed hog along with your RG push, and that's just going to be towered down, so that's going to be GG's. Really nice game with Royal Giant to start things out. And yeah, as you guys can see, even against kind of a trickier matchup like 2.6, if you play well, you can definitely do well. And I didn't even entirely know what I was doing. I think I did a good job of that playing that game, but I think I definitely could have gone for more Mother Witches on the skeletons. That's a great punish that you can do. Also a bit unrelated, guys, but if you would want to see a matchup guide on this match that I played 3.0 Xbow against Royal Hogs Royal Recruits, let me know, because I know a lot of people requested for that before. If you would still like to see that, let me know, and I will definitely make sure to get it out, because I would like to get more content that you guys are asking for specifically. Anyways, nice RG mastery there. And now we're going to move on to the next deck, which is Electro Giant Lightning. So Electro Giant, this deck has made a huge resurgence recently. I'm not entirely sure why, because E-Giant was actually doing pretty badly for a while, but now I've literally seen this everywhere. Last meta and over the last couple of months, especially with the Gold Knight and Lightning. Back in the Phoenix Monk meta, there was the really overpowered E-Giant Pump deck, but I feel like this deck's definitely a lot better right now, because Gold Knight is just so strong with that recent change they did, where it kind of targets towers more effectively now. Also, Tornado synergized very well. There was also a glitch with the Golden Knight, where it just lagged the screen every time. I think they have fixed that now, but that was still a very frustrating aspect for me, at least, to play against this deck too, because every time the Golden Knight dashed, it was kind of annoying. But this deck's pretty easy to play, I think. You have really nice synergy with the NATO, with a Golden Knight and E-Giant, so I honestly think it shouldn't be too tough to play, but we'll see what I can do. You also have really good defense with the cannon and the bomber, so usually you don't really see a building in a beatdown deck, but in this case we do have one. Do you see the bowler and eye drag? So I think this is going to be either, I think it's definitely actually going to be a lightning right there, and I think I definitely want to take that value. The unfortunate part is that lightning doesn't fully take out an Inferno Dragon or a baby dragon, so that is definitely going to be a dead Phoenix, unfortunately, but at least don't have to worry about the eye drag. And if this is Lumberloon, as I suspect, then that's going to be really good for me, because he actually cannot really take my E-Giant out at all. Yeah, there's the Lumberloon, or Balloon rather. Going to go for a cannon, and then once the cannon gets taken out, I'll just activate my King Tower with the Balloon. Should be pretty efficient, and just activate a King is going to be very helpful to start things out, so that's just going to be really nice. Bowler comes down. So the one thing about this deck, or about E-Giant in general, I guess, is that Inferno Dragon can actually counter an Electro Giant. He actually goes for it right now. That was a really bad eye drag, I would say, because now I can just go E-Giant on top and take it out. Actually, he does go with a pretty good freeze. So this is the thing. Eye drag is a pretty good E-Giant counter, because they do have the freeze as well. And they can also play the eye drag away from the Electro Giant, so that you can't really get much, like, reflection of the E-Giant. Also going to go for the Golden Knight right now, because I knew he was low on elixir, so that was just a good punish. Also does tank for the egg, which I wasn't actually intending on doing, but that was a nice little side benefit. Going to get a lot of damage right now early on. That is actually huge, and his tower's already down to 900 damage, or 900 HP, so that's just amazing. Feeling really happy about that. Also, what do you guys think about this Pixel King emote? I think it's really funny. Haven't actually used it as much as I should, but I think it's also cool that they sold it for gems instead of money, so it's a lot more accessible. I honestly am going to lightning that, because at this point I can pretty much just spell cycle him out with lightnings, and I think I definitely want to go for defensive E-Giants into the Inferno Dragons. I don't know how good of a play this is going to be, because I don't know if it'll line up perfectly, but that's definitely going to be my goal. Also going to cannon Barbell to protect my cannon from the Lumberjack, and then I can activate my King again with the Balloon. Just have to watch out about getting 3 crown, but I don't think it's going to happen for sure. And eye drag, I hope it doesn't melt my entire Electro Giant. It almost does, actually. Wow. So that was a bit scary, but we're definitely fine right now. And I can actually go E-Giant again if I want. I think I should have. Well, I'll go for it now into this push. And he's going to have to freeze again if he wants to take this out. Actually, he's probably going to be able to take that out. So maybe that wasn't the best E-Giant. Didn't have NATO in cycle, but it's fine. If he goes Balloon right now, I will definitely just Lightning. In fact, yeah, I was going to Lightning anyways, because eye drag was being a bit problematic. But I can go Golden Knight Dash right now. If he freezes, he'll lose to the dash. Yeah, that's exactly what I suspect. That's going to be GG's. He overcommitted a bit too much on offense there, and that was just not really what he wanted from that situation. So that's going to be GG's. As you guys can see, very straightforward deck to play. I try and make these decks as viable in the meta for you guys, but also as accessible and easy to play. And I would say these two, RG might be a little bit trickier to play, especially against some hard matchups, but it's still a very strong deck, no doubt. And Electro Giant, I would say, is really straightforward, honestly. You don't have to think too much about it, as much as some other decks, at least in my opinion, but this was definitely a super hard counter for me. As you guys can see, his only counter to the E-Giant was Inferno Dragon and Lumberjack, but he didn't really play it that well, and we got an early activated king, so it wasn't too bad. I actually get my E-Giant mastery off of that. I pretty much never play Electro, as you guys can see, but I think it was pretty straightforward. Anyways, moving on, we have Splashyard. This deck literally never dies. It's always viable, and it's really great because it's just a consistent deck that always performs well, especially by the best players. I haven't actually kept up with Ladder in the last couple of weeks, actually, but I believe there were a lot of Graveyard players that finished well, or at least there usually are a lot of really good Graveyard players that finish well. But essentially, you want to play really passively with this deck. You have great synergy with the Tombstone and Skeleton King, where you can just rack up skeletons. Also pairs very well with the Graveyard itself, leading for kind of a double Graveyard combo in a way, because Skeleton King, Graveyard, like they're technically two Graveyards if you max out the Skeleton King charge. You also have the Phoenix in here. You'll notice that all three decks have had Phoenix so far, and I'm actually as surprised as some of you guys might be, because Phoenix was nerfed so many times. I actually thought it was definitely sufficiently nerfed, but it feels like it's still really strong because a lot of decks are still running it. So yeah, that's an interesting little detail there, I guess. But we're going to be playing with Splashyard now. So as for how to play this deck, I think you definitely just want to be as passive as you can, especially starting out, because you don't really know what the counters they're going to have, and a lot of the time you're going to want to have poisons to support your graveyards, because it'll be great to counter whatever swarm they want to use for your graveyard most of the time. But I'm just going to Bar Barrel. Mother Witch is not what I want to see, unfortunately, to start things out, but I'm just going to take the poison. We do see a Royal Giant, so I think this is actually going to be a really tough matchup. But I don't want to start out like that. Like, I'm definitely still going to try my best. He does Log. I think I'm not going to... I actually think I'm going to Graveyard right here, and this might be really silly, but I think it should be okay. I could be wrong, but if I can pop this ability, it'll be so nice. Okay, I definitely should not have gone for that Graveyard. That is bad. So this is going to be a really tough matchup, not only because he has the Mother Witch, but also because he has the Goblins. Like, it's going to be really tough. I think I have to be very careful of how I use my graveyards. Like, that was definitely not it. As you guys can tell, I'm not a very seasoned graveyard player. He does let the Barbell get a hit, though. That's interesting. But I think, especially against Mother Witch, because in this case, I'm definitely going to have to poison with my graveyard every single time if I ever want to get any type of damage. And it's still going to be tough, because not only does he have Mother Witch, he also has Goblins and Log. Does actually just go with the RG straight up, so I think I'm going to go Skeleton King and then NATO back, because Tombstone won't really do that well. I hope I can NATO in time. And he does get 2 hits, unfortunately, so already taking a bit of a beating, but it should be okay. He's actually pressuring a lot right now with his own Phoenix against mine. I think I'm just going to Ice Whiz. Phoenix should take each other out, and I hope I can Bar Barrel in time. Or, okay, Ice Whiz was going to take it out, so maybe not the best Bar Barrel. But I just wanted to make sure the Phoenix didn't hatch, because that would not have been good. I'm going to go for a Tombstone right now. I don't really have another choice. I would love to activate King off the Ghost, but can't really do that. But in this matchup, you can definitely get a lot of value out of your NATOs on the RG. He's definitely going to Mother Witch this, I think, so I have to watch out. Okay, I'm really surprised he didn't, actually. I really thought that was a good Mother Witch opportunity for him, but I guess not. I'm going to go Skeleton King, NATO right away, NATO the RG back, and then Ice Whiz 2 to slow everything down. I really don't want to take any hits if I can help it, and it looks like I was able to succeed, so that's really good. And my Phoenix should take his out, which will be great. I still think I don't want a Graveyard right now. I think I have to be so patient in this matchup, and it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. When he has so many counters, what can you do? So this should be okay. He's definitely setting up for another RG push. There it is, so I want to get a Skeleton King down instantly. Probably going to Log, so I want to NATO the RG back. Also going to try and hit the tower with my Tornado if I can. But as you guys can see, it's just such a tough defense, like, every time. Like, they just have a lot of counters and a lot of efficient offensive tools. So I think it's probably going to be a loss, unfortunately, which I did not want to get this early on in the global tourney. But I honestly do not really think I can do much in this matchup. Except, of course, the first Graveyard was a huge mistake, and that was definitely on me. But other than, like, until then, or since then, haven't really made too many major mistakes. It's just really tough in this matchup in general, but that's going to be GG's. Unfortunate matchup there, but I'll still play another game with Graveyard. I'll give him good luck too, being a good sport. So I do appreciate that out of him anyways. But yeah, sometimes you're also going to get the inevitable hard matchups, and that's why I wouldn't recommend just playing any deck that you guys see. I would recommend playing a deck that you think you can do well with, because you are going to have to get hard matchups, and you're going to have to outplay them. opponent gives the WoW. Gonna go for a Tombstone, and he goes for the Princess, so I guess I'll just Skelly King it off. So probably gonna be log bait here. Oh, I think I'm lagging. That's bad. But hopefully it's okay. So probably going to be log bait here. I think this should be an okay matchup. Depends if he has goblins or skeletons. Does pop the mighty ability, which is very nice for me because I wasn't even expecting to get as much out of that interaction. But let's see if he has goblins or skeletons. Does go goblin barrel in the corner, which is pretty smart because I can't activate king off of it. That's okay. And I think I'm just going to go for a phoenix the back. Go for the cannon. So again, like I said with the last match, you are gonna... Okay, just go for the rocket. Is he gonna log too? Because if he logs it, I think I'm definitely gonna graveyard. Actually, I can't, because unfortunately I can't even poison. Like, if I go Skeleton graveyard the bridge, he'll just go goblins and that'll like full counter the graveyard, which is very unfortunate. But I'm gonna try and go in now, because I can actually afford it. That's why I went Skeleton the back, to set up more elixir, and now I can definitely go in. So I'm gonna go for the graveyard right now, hover poison for the goblins, and go for it right away. There we get it off, and we're going to get a lot of damage, I think, because that was just way too aggressive on his end. Yeah, lots of good damage coming in, so that is just pretty much how you punish mistakes. Like, he was way too aggressive in single. I've played a Phoenix, he played Rocket Log. That's 8 for 4. That's definitely unnecessary on his end. Like, way too much elixir that early on. Like, that would be a nice late game play, maybe, but I wouldn't really say that was that great. Just now. He actually goes for the goblins. I might go in, to be honest, because no goblins in cycle, and I definitely feel like being aggressive. Okay, that's actually really bad, because the Phoenix literally just walked backwards. I think that's partially on me, but I still should have waited a bit more. As you guys can see, though, Naked Graveyard still gets a lot of damage, because it's just a very solid card, and I'm actually going to try a fun play here. I'm going to NATO the Mighty Miner back, and try and get some damage with my Phoenix, and that actually does work out, so that is very huge. Going to get a lot of Phoenix hit for that, and that is pretty much going to be a good game. Just have to worry about the Goblin Barrel now because I wasted all my counters, but he goes Goblin Barrel on the back, which is definitely a mistake because Skeleton King will just be able to take everything out, and that is just going to be a pretty nice win here. So, yeah, honestly, my opponent definitely did not play this the best. I think he could have played a lot more passively to start things out, and also when he wasted his Goblins that one time, didn't really have any graveyard counters. If I had the optimal Phoenix timing there where it actually tanked, that would have been so much better. I'm actually going to go in opposite lane just because he's being very aggressive. Maybe I can take his other tower, and maybe I can take both towers, but okay, I actually don't think I can take both in time, unfortunately. I would love to, but probably not happening, unless he lets this happen, which I'd really appreciate, actually. Good game, and I hope I can take his left tower in time. Oh, let's go. That was such a clutch Phoenix. Okay. Well played and good luck in the rest of his global tourney. Yeah, that was a really nice win. I unfortunately didn't get the 3 crown, but if you guys didn't know, crowns are super important in the global tournament because you really want to maximize them because they are the tiebreaker for leaderboard. So for example, right now, as you guys can see, people are at 22 wins in the top 50. This person has 35 crowns, this person has 35 too, but someone higher up, as you can see, would have more crowns. That's just why crowns are pretty important. Next up though, we have Hog Earthquake, and I feel like this deck never really dies either. I think you can play with either Goblins or Ice Spirit in this slot. I think Goblins are really strong right now because there are just 4 of them, and they've been so good for a long time now. I've actually seen a lot of people asking for them to be reverted. I firstly think that could maybe happen because 4 Goblins is just a lot. Like, Skeletons were always so overpowered for the longest time, but now more people are actually using Goblins. As you guys can see, like, the Royal Giant deck literally runs Goblins too, so it's just kind of interesting, I guess. But we do have Goblins in here. I think you can play with either Goblins or Skeletons. I guess I will play with Skeletons because I saw this was having more usage on Royal API. And faster cycle would be nice, but Goblins obviously help against Graveyard. But yeah, we do have Hog EQ. Queen is one of the best cards in the game right now, if not the best. I've seen a lot of pros asking for nerfs to the Queen, like Riley, Mohammed Light, people like those. So I think it's definitely worth it to use the Queen while she is still this strong. I can definitely expect a nerf to come to her in the next balance changes. But otherwise, we have your typical Hog EQ deck. If you guys watch Ian77, you'd know what this deck is about. Just Hog EQ cycle with the cannon, very cheap cards, and the Giant Skeleton because it's just a very beefy unit that can clog up lanes and be pretty good. So I've honestly wanted to learn Hog EQ more. I might try and focus on that too. I don't know really what my goals are for decks this year. I honestly want to think about it a bit more. But we do see a Dark Goblin at the bridge. Gonna go Hog. Okay, unfortunately really bad timing. Was hoping to tank for the Dark Goblin in time. So I'm making some mistakes right now, but on that note, so is my opponent because he just misplaced his Tesla. This is looking like it's going to be log bait, of course, because we do see the... yeah, there it is. Gonna go for the log 2. I wanted to cycle back to my log, that's why I went Giant Skeleton like that. And also in case he has a... princess, but I don't think he does. So pretty interesting log bait deck. Has Tesla and Dark Goblin and Dark Prince. So none of the cards I'd really expect out of log bait. Like Princess, maybe Valkyrie. I feel like Dark Prince just doesn't tank that well, so it's not very good. Actually, Fireball too. I'm gonna go for a Hog because I think he's not back to his Tesla, and this should be a pretty decent offense. Yeah, actually he is back, but still Queen is going crazy. As you guys can see right now, Queen is about to go off on this tower. Log does not take it out. Fireball log is not enough, and Queen just goes crazy, so that's pretty much already going to be good game. My opponent calls it 2 because you can't really come back from this position, especially if they don't have a princess in cycle, or not in cycle in the deck even, but if they do have a princess, you have to watch out for princess at the bridge. But in this case, my opponent is just... I'm just going to Earthquake cycle, honestly, at this point. Here's a Fireball, not even an Earthquake, or not even a Rocket. So I'm a bit tired today, if you guys couldn't tell, but I'm still having a lot of fun. Goes Dark Goblin to the bridge. Definitely going to try and catch that on time with my dark Giant Skeleton this time, if I can get it right. And that is going to be a pretty nice cleanup. I can actually probably go in right here because... Giant Skeleton's going to tank for the Hog. This is another really nice play with this deck. You just want to tank for the Hog with the Giant Skeleton because it has such high HP. You do force out the Tesla and the Log, and Tesla might actually die, and that's going to be even more damage coming in because he has a mirror. Wow, I was not expecting that for sure. But yeah, we just got a lot of value out of that, and lots of damage coming in. So he's switching lanes. I guess he's tired of being in our lane, but I'm not tired of this lane. I'm going to keep going. Giant Skeleton in front. And probably, I was honestly expecting him to go maybe Dark Prince on both, but he just went with it in the back. Gonna go for Hog pre-EQ on the Tesla right here. That's definitely gonna be a good game. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be over. He mirrors the log, but it's still gonna be over. So let's see if he lets me take his other tower, because again, crowns are very important. He does. I'm gonna try and go for the 3 crown. I hope he lets me get it, but he might not, honestly. That would be fine if he didn't, because I mean, we're not gonna lose, but yeah, it would be nice, again, for the crowns. But I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. He is truly quite adamant that he defends this. But that should be okay. Still a really nice win. And he didn't really get any offensive opportunities, honestly. We were just kind of pressuring him the whole game. Actually took his King Tower below our Princess Tower. So that's going to be GG's and good luck for us with this GT again. Honestly, not really sure. That was a much better game than I was expecting I would get, because it felt like I didn't really have to do that much work, but that was really nice. Honestly, that just shows the essence of Hog EQ. Like, you just want to play really well, cycle your Hogs, and use Giant Skeleton well. Last but certainly not least, we have 3.0 Exo Cycle, my favorite deck in the entire game. I've mained this deck for, I think, 3 or 4 years at this point. It used to be 2.9 Expo with the Ice Golem, but now we have the Knight in here. And honestly, in a much better position right now. I think Queen Bow's definitely going to be better if you guys want to play Xbow in the Global Tourney, but I would personally recommend this deck because I love it, and I think it can definitely do well if you play well. I also think Electro Spirit's going to be a bit easier to play than Ice Spirit, so I'd actually recommend that if you guys are trying to play 3.0 and you don't necessarily have much experience with it. So I'll play with E-Spirit this time around. I do prefer Ice Spirit more though, but yeah, I just love this deck so much, so I'm really excited for this final game. Found our match against Mohammed, give him the good luck. Really like his banner actually, so let's see what we can get in this game here. He's not playing anything, so it might be some kind of psych or heavy deck or more expensive deck. That's fine, gonna split my archers. We do see the cannon. I'm honestly going to Fireball that. This could be the E-Giant deck that I just shared. Could also be 2.6 or Hog EQ. But since he's not playing anything, yeah, it's definitely going to be E-Giant because he's leaking a lot. So I'm going to go for a Knight. Actually goes E-Giant the bridge. Was not expecting that whatsoever. Very aggressive early on. And in this situation, I would much rather have an Ice Spirit than the Electro, because I think it would definitely be useful for freezing everything for longer. But still, as you guys can see, pretty efficient defense. Didn't take any damage. Just very aggressive on my opponent's end, but had to defend. Log E-Spirit is very clutch at taking out bombers though, so that's definitely something I appreciate out of Electro Spirit. And again, it's just easier to use. I don't have to worry about hitting as many bats, stuff like that. So he's definitely not back to his E-Giant right now. Definitely back to Cannon. Gonna go for an Xbow and Knight to predict the Cannon. And I think he's in a world of hurt right now, because what does he have for this? He has to go Cannon and misplaces it. And mistimes it even. And Lightning comes in late, but that's still going to be a lot of damage coming in. And again, pretty much just punishing his cycle, because no E-Giant in cycle, no Gold Knight in cycle. All he had was Cannon as a ground troop, because I pretty much know the full deck. I guess, yeah, and he already used Bomber too, so he had like Phoenix, Lightning, Cannon, and Tornado, I guess, at that point, and he just couldn't really do anything. So yeah, honestly, just really nice early lead and pretty much a good start. I don't know why he's going E-Giant the back. I'm definitely going to Expo. I don't think he's even back to Cannon, so I don't really know how he's going to stop this. Bomber the back, and I think he's really panicking right now. I'm going to let this Expo go because I have to worry. I could have maybe gone Tesla, but I want to worry and make sure I can defend this E-Giant push first. So I think that's going to be my main priority, not really the Expo. Tesla does take out the Bomber too, which is great. Gonna go Archers. I'm really worried if he goes for maybe a NATO with a Gold Knight dash, but I'm going to E-Spirit rather to misdirect it, and he actually does just dash straight up, so that's pretty much going to be game over. I don't really want to Expo when he has E-Giant in cycle, because that's just going to be free E-Giant for him. So I'm just going to set up a pre-Tesla. And Expo now, he might have actually given up. Okay, he does go E-Giant in the back. I'm just going to let this Expo go, I guess. Unfortunately, he does get the 3 elixir trade out of the cannon, but it still should be okay. As you guys can see, this is the anti-lightning Tesla placement. It's actually unable to get lightning value on my Tesla plus tower, which he definitely wants to do. Gonna try and kite this Gold Knight in. Okay, and thankfully he doesn't dash to the tower. Gold Knight dashes have just been going absolutely crazy recently, so he actually lightnings. That's actually a really good lightning. I'm actually choking right here. Hold on. Okay, we're fine. But that was bad. I should have honestly anticipated that. He did just lightning though, so I think I'm just going to defensive Expo, because he can't do anything about this. No point going in, because he's going to go E-Giant into it, but defensive Expo he can't do anything about. So going to be nice. Going to E-Spirit to maybe force out anything, because he definitely doesn't want to. Goes Bomber. And I think I want a Fireball cycle, honestly, but I just want to be a bit safe for now, because I don't want to choke again. Like, I had this win in the bag long ago. Definitely just want to close it out. Gonna go for an offense Expo, I guess. Force out a Lightning, maybe. He's not back to his E-Giant, so gonna Knight for the Cannon. He is forced to go for a Lightning, so that's honestly pretty good. Gonna kite everything to the middle, because I have to be super careful about the Golden Knight, and we are fine. Actually gonna Tesla for the Phoenix too. I absolutely cannot afford to take any damage right now. And log on the Phoenix Egg plus Barb Barrel. So if he goes E-Giant right now, gonna be in a bit of trouble. I'm actually gonna Expo the bridge because, okay, wow, really not the greatest E-Giant on his end, and that's pretty much gonna be a good game, I think, unless he gets a Golden Knight down. He does, actually, so I can't go Archers, because sadly Golden Knight dash will just take everything out. But still, I think he misplaced his cannon too. He did, so that's not even gonna hit the Expo. I think if I was him, I would Lightning both my Expo and Tesla right now, but he actually just chooses to Lightning the tower, so I would say a bit greedy on his end. That's gonna be a lock. That's gonna be a good game, if that's enough damage, and it is, so well played and good luck. And that's going to be a very nice flawless video. Well, actually no, we did lose one with Splashyard, unfortunately, against RG, but I still feel like I played pretty much as well as I could have in all the games. I don't think I made too many mistakes. I did make quite a few for sure, but the Splashyard loss ultimately I think was just a really tough matchup, and I definitely should not have gone Graveyard that early on though. As you guys can see, definitely learn from my mistake and don't do that. But all that being said, we're going to be at 10 wins and only 1 loss right now, so really nice start to the global tourney. Could be better with 0 losses, of course, but honestly still pretty happy about this, and hope you guys enjoyed the 5 different decks. Let me know what you prefer, if you prefer the 0 wins to 10 wins or 5 wins to 10. A bit shorter of a video, and honestly easier for me to make because it's less recording time as well. But yeah, I guess whatever you guys prefer, I'll try and do more often. But that's going to be 10 wins, and really nice stuff with 5 of, again, in my opinion, the best decks, so deck links will all be in the description below if you guys want to copy any of them. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you want to see this matchup guide, let me know and I'll record it probably tomorrow or whenever I post the video and look at your guys' comments. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.